Hello, I'm Connie Sharp on the BBC World Service, and this is BBC OS Conversations, Afghanistan protests. When the Taliban announced an all-male interim government to rule the country, hundreds of people, many of them women, came out to protest. In return, violence was used to stop them. We've been gathering messages from across the country to get a sense of the mood on the streets.
Me and colleagues are in protest, and the Taliban come and they fire and beat women. That why you are in here and why you protest. And because of that, after 15 minutes, I come back to home because my family really afraid.
We also bring together two women, a doctor and a dentist, to hear what it's like working under the new regime. Another woman, a flight attendant, tells us about her late-night escape from the country. That's BBC OS Conversations with me, Connie Sharp, all after the latest BBC News.
BBC News with Sue Montgomery. The British 18-year-old Emma Raducanu has won the US Open in one of the most dramatic victories in modern tennis. She beat 19-year-old Lele Fernandez of Canada in 2 sets, 6-4, 6-3. The BBC's Lizzie Greenwood sums up Raducanu's feat.
She's the first British woman to win a Grand Slam singles title in 44 years. She's the first qualified to ever win a Grand Slam title. It's just been the most incredible game. The way these two teenagers played, the quality of tennis they have played in this final has just been breathtaking. Emma Raducanu has done it. She hasn't dropped a set the entire tournament. She had to come through several rounds of qualifying to even make it to the first round. And she has won this final in straight sets. She's been serving beautifully. She has amazing movement. She's graceful. She has wonderful forehand, wonderful backhand. Some of her lobs have been incredible. She has done this like a seasoned pro, and yet she's 18 years old.
Sombre ceremonies have taken place in the United States to mark the 20th anniversary of the September the 11th attacks, when Al-Qaeda hijackers used airliners to kill almost 3,000 people. In New York, where the Twin Towers of the World Trade Center collapsed, President Biden urged people never to forget the deadliest attack in U.S. soil. Mike Lowe's daughter was a flight attendant who died.
My memory goes back to that terrible day when it felt like an evil specter had descended on our world. But it was also a time when many people acted above and beyond the ordinary.
In Pennsylvania, where another plane crashed after passengers tackled the hijackers, the former President George W. Bush compared those who executed the attacks to U.S. extremists. He then described how unity prevailed.
I come without explanations or solutions. I can only tell you what I've seen. On America's day of trial and grief, I saw millions of people instinctively grab for a neighbor's hand and rally to the cause of one another. That is the America I know.
President Biden went on to visit all the crash sites, ending his day at the Pentagon in Washington, which was hit by a 4th airliner. Gary O'Donoghue reports from there.
He started in New York and went through Shanksville in Pennsylvania, ended up here at the Pentagon, and also Kamala Harris, the Vice President, and her husband had a little wander around the memorial. It was a very sort of low-key visit here. Their days' commemorations are over, I think, and the single message that they would hope comes out of this is that the spirit of 9/11, the spirit that unified America after 9/11, is sorely, sadly lacking in the America of today.
World News from the BBC. Haiti's Prime Minister has hit back at investigators who want to question him over 2 telephone conversations he reportedly had with the prime suspect in the assassination of President Jovenel Moïse. Ariel Henry accused officials of diversionary tactics designed to create confusion. Prosecutors say mobile phone records appear to show that Mr. Henry spoke to the suspect while he was at the scene of the crime. They want the Prime Minister to give evidence on Tuesday morning, but have no power to force him to do so. The leader and founder of Peru's Shining Path rebel group, Abimael Guzman, has died in prison at the age of 86. In the 1980s and 90s, the Maoist group waged a ruthless struggle against the Peruvian state that killed nearly 70,000 people. Alex Ritson reports.
Abimael Guzman was Peru's most wanted man when he was captured in 1992. Inspired in part by China's Chairman Mao, he believed that a rapid and violent revolution was needed to destroy Peru's government, make the country's rural peasants politically conscious, and bring them to power. Funding for his rebel movement's campaign of bombings and assassinations came in part from its links with the drugs trade. He was convicted on terrorism charges and sentenced to life imprisonment in a maximum security jail.
A highly topical film about illegal abortions in 1960s France has won the main Golden Lion Prize at the Venice Film Festival. Audrey Diwan, who directed Happening, said she'd made the movie with anger, her guts and her head. Penelope Cruz won Best Actress for Parallel Mothers, directed by the leading Spanish director Pedro Almodovar. Best Actor went to John Arcilla of the Philippines for his role in a crime thriller. New Zealand's Jane Campion won the Silver Lion for Best Director with the 1920s frontier drama The Power of the Dog. BBC News.
Hello, I'm Connie Sharp on the BBC